Whoop.
Here we are again.
Here we are again. Take 3 for discussing the Mona Lisa as a critical work.
It's been a time.
It's been a time. It's been a time. So let's start once again with the Mona Lisa's lack of eyebrows and what that means during the restoration. Simon, you brought it up twice before, since the other 2 times have been very shitty recordings. Please explain why the Mona Lisa doesn't have eyebrows, or the history of the understudy's Mona Lisa.
I mean, just like the age and the number of restorations that it's undergone, it's like the eyebrows have faded, a number of details have faded. It's gotten more of a dark tone overall and less. It's less clear.
Mm-hmm.
The understudy's painting, which is in Spain, is much clearer and brighter. She actually has eyebrows.
Finally.
And it just seems to be a much better representation of what the original probably would have looked like.
Her eyebrows on fleek. So I think with that we can talk about, as we've done twice before, how the restoration has abstracted this painting and changed how we can look at it. In 500 years, when, not me because I'm not going to have kids, but Simon, your kids, or Jay, your kids, grandkids, and great-great-great-grandkids look at this abstracted piece, if it survives, will it have the same context? Because it will no longer be photorealistic. Will the society and the art world of that time look at it the same way as we do now, as a masterwork of photorealism, of a masterwork of such great, provocative, quote-unquote, visage going on within this anonymous woman's face?
Don't watch me.
Someone has to answer this
I
question.
think that's, the changes that it undergoes throughout aging will just be kind of accepted. Most people just accept that this is what it looks like and probably what was intended, just because it's what they've seen and it's an image that has been repeated.
Now, do you guys think, we've talked before about the use of atmospheric perspective and the sfumato and the light on the face and blah, blah, blah. This is the third fucking take. But, a new thing, new question. Do you feel the use of her hair, her long hair, has given cultural impact to the hairstyles throughout the ages? Do you think this piece itself has influenced the way hair has been rendered within art and rendered within our own society?
I think most likely the hair is just a product of its time.
See that?
I doubt he invented a whole new style of painting hair,
But do you think
doing hair.
Do you think that hair, we would agree that it's pretty common for the time.
Yeah.
And I think the reason, I talked about it earlier, but the whole recording incident, the reason I look at this piece as glorification of the female form is because it's not glorifying it at all. Everything here is common within the female form, within this age, which we can assume. And in that, this is the height of a female's form within such a traditionalist Renaissance form, which is pretty interesting. Now, how do you guys feel about the background, of the piece itself?
It's vague, very abstracted, kind of dark, gloomy.
Is there something wrong with being dark?
It also feels like it's actually different, painting. They just put Mona Lisa on it. It's Photoshop or something. I don't know.
New age, old age Photoshop.
Yeah.
Now that we've discussed the Mona Lisa at length, let's talk about I'll talk about why I don't like the Mona Lisa.
You don't like the Mona Lisa?
No, I don't like the Mona Lisa. It's
boring.
It's boring. It's plain. But it's also because I'm looking at it through this contemporary lens.
More Leonardo here.
The Ninja Turtle. And I guess we discussed it earlier too, but it's because we've seen this piece so much that it's worrisome that because of the fame and because of what it implies to us, like, I don't look at it for the piece itself. I look at it as this highly regarded work that people fawn over, and I can't see it as being that grand. It's not that thought-provoking for me. I made the analogy earlier that it's like a really good burger, but it's the buns of the burger, and without the meat and lettuce and cheese inside, what is the bun? What are the buns?
Do you think that you'd feel differently about it if it wasn't so famous and notorious?
Yes, I think I definitely would. I definitely would.
Does that say something about you or something about the piece?
I think it says something about both, because the piece is very, as I mentioned before, it's very metaphysical, and it's no fault of Leonardo himself, but of the social climate of what we've put toward this piece. Like, the piece is this highly regarded thing, and then whatever space it's in transforms the whole space around it. And maybe it is part of me being kind of pretentious, for lack of a better word, but if this piece wasn't as highly regarded as it was, we could critique it on a different level than we can now on this couch between the three of us. How do you feel about this piece, Simon?
Well, I mean, like, Jaeho was telling me really interesting things about it.
Jay, what were the interesting things you were how do you feel, go a bit in depth, how do you feel about this piece?
This piece, it's boring. Yeah, because I don't know. I cannot just feel anything from it.
Yeah.
It's just like, maybe it's warm, the color, it makes that smile, like kind of emphasize and like ambiguous. But other than that, we can probably like emulate this kind of thing these days with technology and stuff.
Is anything lost from that though? The skill of doing it by hand?
I don't think we put these artificial weights on like cameras versus doing things by hand. Like there's this good piece called Tim's Vermeer where this guy recreates a Vermeer through technology. He's basically this rich dude with a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of free time. So he takes like a year off from work, learns.
Did he have a robot do it?
No, he did it by hand, but he used
that's not as cool.
He used advanced technology and a camera obscura, which is something that
apparently not that advanced.
Oh, okay.
There are no robots involved. Camera obscura?
Yeah, basically there's this whole conspiracy that Vermeer painted some of his paintings using optics, which is why he only has 13 paintings. Or, I'm not sure if it's 13, but a small amount of paintings. Yeah. And so Tim, this rich guy with a whole bunch of time and money, decided to further research this and validate his findings, and he was able to successfully recreate a Vermeer. But what does that mean? Is he just creating a replica of the Vermeer? Or is this an actual Vermeer? What does an artist's style really mean? And is there any weight to an artist's style?
Even if he recreates the image, like, it's still like not his image. It's an image that's been copied from someone else's image that they created.
And I think that's one thing that you'll never get when you recreate any form of painting is the same brushstrokes. Brushstrokes are very hard to emulate, and brushstrokes
Unless you have a robot.
Unless you have a robot, yes. Do you feel like robotics would vastly change and devalue the art world, or do you think it would just create a shift in the art world?
I feel like robots would like greatly like improve in the art world. Like, if I saw a painting by a robot, I'd think, oh, that's sick. I'm buying that.
I'm buying. What about you, Jay?
Oh, I actually want to talk like back there, like talking about this copying work and it'll be like is or not. Because we're actually making discussion watching this film, right?
Yeah.
And we know it's Mona Lisa, but maybe it's Photoshop. Like, how do we know? Like, stuff.
That's a good point. We'll
that also happens a lot when you search for like,
because like
a famous image. You
I say like other
turn up with
images
a lot
from
of-
Google, and it's like kind of different. Like this
A
one,
lot of
that one.
reproductions, different photos.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of reproduction. What is real? What is make believe? We won't ever know. But
Is the Mona Lisa even the real Mona Lisa?
Yeah, there's that whole conspiracy that there's actually the real one, which is like underground between like behind like lock and key. But for me, that's really very stupid because what we know of the Mona Lisa, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's real or not.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we get from the Mona Lisa. Whether it's
Some
the
people
original,
who've seen it in person usually say that like it looks just kind of like someone printed it out on probably like a public library's printer from like a JPEG or something.
perfect.
So I would think that definitely like supports the theory that like the real one is like they're not showing us. I don't know why. Maybe there's something in the painting that they don't want us to see. Like only we'll find out someday, but maybe not in my lifetime. Maybe not in yours. Maybe not even Jaeho's.
Maybe, really, not in Jay's?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, once again, we've talked about the Mona Lisa at length, and I don't have much else to say about it. This is our third fucking take.
Yeah.
And I apologize for not pressing the button. That's my bad.
First one was good though.
Yeah, the first one was great.
The first one was flawless.
It was flawless.
Intense.
We should get graded on the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Believe us.
Please believe us.
Or make a time machine.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming to a town near
Coming up
you.
soon.
All right. That's our end of our critique of the Mona Lisa. Hit that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm